This may be good news or bad news, but it appears our San Antonio Spurs are not interested in trading for Trae Young.
Go Spurs go, 'cause the Giants stink.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Came across an article from Bleacher Report this morning that is saying that the Spurs have little interest in trading for Trae Young amidst the Lakers buzz. And we've been hearing reports and rumors for weeks on end, months on end, that Trae Young might be coming to our San Antonio Spurs, and now maybe not. Let's get into the article. Per Yahoo Sports' Jake Fisher, the Spurs' interest in acquiring Young from the Atlanta Hawks has been vastly overstated, and they have shown little interest in the three-time All-Star thus far. That's a total 180 from what we've been hearing for the last couple of months. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reported during the draft lottery on Sunday the Hawks having trade talks involving Young this spring and into the summer are very real too. So Atlanta may very well trade Trae Young during the offseason. But that number one pick changes things, as you can see right here. The Hawks offseason became even more intriguing after they won the number one pick in the 2024 draft lottery. Can't believe they won this year. We needed them to win next year, Spurs fans, so we can get the number one overall pick. Anyway, ESPN's Brian Windhorst said this week on the Hoop Collective podcast that Atlanta could be more likely to trade Young than DeJounte Murray. The Lakers and Spurs have been two popular landing spots linked to Young if he does get moved, Los Angeles could have need at point guard with D'Angelo Russell considered likely to opt out of his $19 million deal for the next season. The Athletics' Jovan Buha, am I saying that right? Noted in March the Lakers had interest in Young at the trade deadline, but they only had a 2029 first-round pick available to trade that wasn't enough to entice the Hawks into making a deal. However, the Lakers will have up to 3 first-round picks, including 2029 and 2031, to package and trade proposals this off-season. Let me just talk about the Lakers here for a second, Spurs fans. I don't know how that's going to work if Trae Young was to go to LA. Doesn't the offense run through LeBron James still out there? Where does he fit into that? They tried the LeBron James and Russell Westbrook thing, and that just totally blew up because both guys need the ball in their hands. And I would think Trae's going to need the ball in his hands. And now you got these two guys that both need the ball, and there's only so much ball to go around. I don't think it works, which is why I'd like to see it happen. I'd like Trae Young to go to the Lakers and have that whole thing just blow up in their faces again. As far as our San Antonio Spurs, I'm taking this as good news. I'm not totally sold on Trae Young. Yes, he's a great player, a great offensive player, and a high-volume scorer, high-volume shooter. The 25-plus points, 10-plus assists. Yes, he puts up numbers. But would he fit with Wemby? Don't know. If this is true, then probably we'll never know. I still think the Spurs may draft a point guard during the draft. And one thing I just saw that I wanted to share with you guys, some of you are sold on Rob Dillingham, some of you are kind of neutral. Well, I like what he just said about Wemby recently. Maybe it was more than recently. I just saw it for the first time today. Quote, "That was the craziest first year in a long time. He could be one of the best players ever. If I'm playing with Wemby, it's obvious. I am coming in to give Wemby the ball." I mean, what else do we want to hear from a point guard? That is just... Yes. That being said, we're still many days away from the draft, and the NBA Combine, I'm sure, is shaking things up like no business with draft positions. It'll be interesting to see the mock drafts over the next few weeks, how players move up, players move down. Nikola Topic, the knee injury doesn't seem to be too severe, so he's still a top 10 pick. And as far as our Spurs, if Atlanta does choose to blow things up and trade Trae Young and build around Alexander Sarr and maybe Murray, would they want some of their picks back? Because the Murray, we've said it numerous times on this channel, Murray and Young is not working. So Trae Young out. And I'm sorry, occasionally I say Trae Jones instead of Trae Young. My brain just thinks Trae and then goes to the Trae that is on my team, not the guy on the other team. But it'll be a lot. It's going to be a fun offseason. I'm going to try to do daily videos. If you're watching this to this point, I'm going to be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern watching my first ever WNBA game. I've seen highlights, but I've never watched a game. I only watched more than a couple minutes. Actually, I think I've only watched highlights. I've seen UConn college basketball women's games, but I've not watched a WNBA game. And the reason I want to check this out is, one, it's on Amazon Prime, so I can watch it. But it's the Fever and Caitlin Clark, who I've heard a lot of hoopla about, no pun intended, but I don't really know anything about her except she has the scoring record for women's college basketball. going against the Liberty, who have Brianna Stewart on their team, who I'm very familiar with because my girlfriend's a big UConn fan, and she helped lead UConn to 4 championships. So I generally am interested in checking that out, and I'll be live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Would love to have you join the channel or join the chat and maybe inform me on some of the players, maybe educate me on some WNBA history if you're a fan, but it's something different from the channel, and I haven't been live for a sporting event in a long time, and I thought, why not try this? And if you're still here at this point after me talking about that, which is not related to the Spurs in any way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. It does help the channel. It's the only support we'll ask for besides subscribing, which if you are a Spurs fan and not subscribed to the channel, what you waiting for? We have an awesome Spurs community. We go live for almost every Spurs game, and we do a lot of Spurs news videos like this, or Spurs draft analysis, or guessing, whatever you want to call it. And I live in Connecticut, and this is my Spurs community. This isn't a YouTube channel to me. The Spurs, it is a YouTube channel, obviously, but this Spurs part of the channel, to me, are just like a community of family, because this is where I can share the love and share, the frustration of our Spurs from the last 5 years. So thank you all. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. And as always, go Spurs, go.
And then you race it to Wembley.